Attention! Attention! And now we welcome to the grand trivia stage our great leader, our Grand Aquarium Emperor, the trivia master of this age, the past age, the upcoming age, and ages unknown. Please welcome Grand Trivia Master Fluval.
Me.
Oh, that was a bad noise. Sorry, Master. Let's try again. Fluval. Oh, that's not so. We must find the noise to pay tribute to all 5 dimensions you hold in your control. Yes, the fake trumpet for Fluval.
Hello and welcome to Grand Trivia, the only 20-question quiz that will destroy a planet every single week. I'm Fluval, Grand Trivia Master of the Grand Aquarium Empire. And of course, with me as always is intern Cardassian.
Hello. Hi, I'm intern Christy. Hello, everyone. I'm intern Christy, and I'm so excited. Ah!
That is just false, Stephen Premmel. There's an entire mobster planet where they all wear fedoras, and of course...
That's where we get all fedoras.
Absolutely, and of course Picard loves wearing a fedora when he's out on that holodeck.
Oh yes, that holodeck! I wish we had that kind of technology here, Fluval, instead of just having to go to those places in real life and then cause the damage, steal the humans that we need. You know, we don't just create our own Sherlock Holmes. We go and we get him.
That's true, no,
and we don't put him back. We just shoot him in space.
Oh, absolutely.
Usually.
The simulation dome isn't quite as fancy as their holodecks.
Not quite as fancy, but I think a lot better conceptually.
Yeah, and you're sporting Andorian lipstick this week.
Thank you so much.
Intern Kirstie Alley, says
I'm
Lindsay
intern
Premmel.
Kirstie,
of course, Kirstie Alley
thank you so
in
much.
one of the Star Trek films. And this is
true.
20 questions all about Star Trek.
That's right. Our favorite utopia that we love to destroy. That's right.
That's right. And no humpback whale song will dissuade us. But if you want to show you know your stuff and that you can answer these strange new questions, you should boldly go to Kahoot.it or use the Kahoot app. Yeah, beam yourself out there.
It's a phaser. I'm phasing.
Oh, you're phasing.
Yeah, sorry. I wanted to display our power, you know? I wanted everyone to know
wait.
You know.
I'll show our power.
I'm interested.
Ha ha ha! Power achieved.
It's true.
Hello, Stephen Premmel.
Welcome, Stephen Premmel. Welcome.
That's right. Type exclamation point Kahoot if you just want to get a nice, not Kahoot.
Not Kahoot.
If you want to get a link to our game, but beware, it doesn't work on mobile phones.
That's right. It's your power pulsar.
My power pulsar.
We
For
just
when
had
Stephen
that
Premmel
installed.
makes me furious.
It is specifically a Stephen Premmel meme, too.
Yeah.
I had to do a lot of extra coding to make sure that, you know, it went straight there. Ha! All the Stephen Premmels.
Stephen Premmel has a lot in common with the Borg, so you got to change up your weapon every single time.
Kahoot. Like,
Kahoot.
ew, what a
that's
hottie.
Kahoot.
That's Kahoot.
That's Kahoot.
That is so Kahoot.
Hello, Bootleg Bart. Hello, First Officer BBR.
Welcome.
Number 1 BBR.
Number 1. What would you call us if you, like, what would I be to you, Fluval? Obviously, you would be the captain, but...
I would be Captain Fluval.
Yeah, of course. Or maybe Admiral Fluval.
I mean, like, yeah, Admiral, I see. I think
I don't know
like
what
Captain.
the highest military thing
Admiral,
is. Hello,
it's
Cardassian.
Admiral's higher than Captain.
And what would I be, though? Would I be your number 1?
No, you'd be Ensign. Oh, Ensign.
I would just be Ensign.
It'd just be Ensign. Hello, Kaplogtoven.
Okay.
Kaplogtoven. Hello, Cardass Fadson. Supreme Allied Commander Fluval.
Ensign Quark.
You're not.
Ensign Kid. I'm Intern Christy. My name is Intern Christy. I'm just saying that there is.
Do you own a bar? Do you own a bar?
could.
But do you?
I mean, I own a number of planets, to be
Hello,
perfectly
Intern
honest.
Red Shirt. Maybe that's what I'd call you.
Welcome, Intern Red Shirt. But you're red.
You're right.
I'm wearing pink and black.
You're right. Well, but see, on Star
Welcome,
Trek,
Baron Griffin 40.
on Star Trek, the red shirts get killed. So
that's-
actually, Arthur would be the red shirt.
Yeah,
now that I think about it.
that's
It'd be
right.
Intern Arthur.
Yes, Intern Arthur from
You'd
NASA.
be, I'd call you a Riker.
You would call me Riker?
Yeah, but you'd have to sit in chairs weirdly.
I could do that.
Okay.
I
How
could-
is
I
Intern
could be
Arthur
weird
from
in
NASA?
chairs.
He's out on an away team right now, so he won't be joining us today.
But welcome,
hello.
CBC and Borg-ish.
Borg-ish. Hello,
And
Borg-ish.
a Gorn named Maddie.
I like
love
that a lot. Hello,
Love that.
Arthur Redshirt. Intern Crumpet would look pretty dope with a beard. Well, that's for the second season and on.
I'm Intern Christy, and I would look really dope with a beard. I would put
Thank
glitter
you,
on it.
Intern Crusher.
I'm Intern Christy. I'm
Intern Crusher here. Hello, Ferengai.
Welcome, Ferengai.
Arthur Redshirt, CBC 9000. You know, we've given you quite a bit of time to sign up to this trivia, so I think we
And
should.
we don't have all day. Despite being outside of time and space.
But don't worry, if you miss out on getting in before we start, you can join mid-game again with that link from !Kahoot or by typing in the room code. But for now, let's engage our trivia. Here we go. This one's, I think, pretty straightforward. Question number 1. You might have trouble with these quick breeding furballs. Are those Kushiban, Tribbles, Triffids, or Trill?
Terrell.
Yeah, all of you except one knew it. It's
Who
Tribble.
got it wrong? Who is the fool? Who is the
Kushiban.
fool?
Kushiban are a rabbit-like alien from Star Wars.
Ooh,
And
cute.
Triffids are carnivorous plants from the novel and film Day of the Triffids. And the Trill are a symbiotic species. Some idiot clicked too fast. Got
Oh no! Thank you for your pain
a
and
recent
suffering.
winner, Redactron. Clicks
Thank
too
you.
fast. But now let's go warp speed to our leaderboard. Where Ferengai is in first place.
Ferengai.
Stephen Premel a mere point away.
Read
Okay.
Redactron.
Some idiot, me, clicked too fast. Well, that's clearly about Redactron if you
Yeah.
have context clues, Stephen.
Yeah.
You know who understands context clues?
Who?
First Officer, BBR, CBC, and Bootleg Bar.
Yay! Congratulations.
Congratulations to you. And, you know, speaking of officers, let's go to our next question. I'm going to ignore Stephen Premel and show him. Anyway, which Starfleet officer is in charge of Deep Space Nine? Is that Captain Janeway, Captain Kirk, Captain Picard, or Captain Sisko? Fluval said it. No, I didn't. There is no. The word "it"
I mean, you
is
said
not
the
in
word
that sentence.
It.
Well, now
You
I
just
did. I just did. Yeah. I don't know
Fluval
what.
says all sorts of things.
I say all sorts of wonderful
He's outside of time
things.
and space. You never know what's going to come out of that mouth.
You never know what's going to come out of my mouth.
Probably pebbles.
But 7 of you knew it. It's Captain Sisko, who was a commander at the start of the show, Deep Space Nine. Captain Janeway was captain of the Voyager. Captain Kirk and Captain Picard were captains of various enterprises. Yes.
Yes.
He was commander for a very long time indeed, Jess Fadson Montgomery. Did Captain Sisko write the Admiral Thong song?
Yes.
And in a rare crossover, the Grand Admiral Thorong song.
Yeah.
Fluval, you heard me call something you won't repeat. I mean, you can repeat my name. Don't wear it out. Just like you shouldn't wear out our leaderboard. Where Kaplogtoven has risen up to first place. Stephen Premel still in second. Ferengi, you're in third. Cardass Fadson in
He
fourth.
is the very model of a
Modern future state. A Gorn named Maddie. And oh, yeah, sure. Me and the wormhole aliens go way back.
yeah.
We have a poker night, much
They
like the
do.
crew of the Enterprise.
It's very messy.
Gets very messy, very quickly.
Lots
and
of bodies.
we don't
Lots
even
of
have to wear
bodies
sunglasses.
clear out.
What'd you say?
Lots of bodies to clear out at the end. I usually
many.
just open the doors to space and let it whoop, suck everything out. It's easier to like replace the table.
I've been to Mach 10. I've been to 10 forward, Mach 10, Warp 10, all the 10s.
Oh yeah, all the 10.
But
all
no,
the
this next
10s.
question isn't question number 10.
Tennessee.
Oh, yeah. I've been to Tennessee. I've been to Chattanooga. I've been to Pigeon Forge.
Tenacity.
I've been to Nashville.
Ah.
I've been to...
You've been tentative. Right?
Yeah, I've also been to Memphis. I've been to Clarksville, Kingsport, Tennessee, Jackson, Tennessee, Columbia, Tennessee.
Stephen Premel. Fluval is definitely an 11 at least on a 1 to 10 scale.
I tried to get them to rename
Nashville.
it Nashville, but
Yeah.
they didn't go for it. My hobbies and my passion projects, they're all trivia and planet destruction related.
They are.
So why don't we get back to it with question number 3. Here we go. Jean-Luc Picard relaxes by playing which hard-boiled detective on the holodeck? Is that Dixon Hill, John Hill, Luke Hill, or what in the Sam Hill?
Is that what that's from?
I mean,
The Star Trek episode, or is Sam Hill a real detective?
it's a saying, but we'll have to see if it correctly applies to the world
Oh my
of
god,
Trek.
thank you so much. I'm intern Christy. Hi, I'm intern Christy.
4 of you got it right. It's Dixon Hill. The character was a childhood hero of Jean-Luc Picard's, and his adventures were set in San Francisco in 1941, which is also the year that the Maltese Falcon, which is set in San Francisco, came out.
Yes.
So it's a pretty fun Maltese Falcon reference.
It really is.
You're gonna have to rely on luck.
You
single
always
walk
are,
run,
though.
but that's
Aren't
always
all
yeah.
third-dimensional beings just relying on luck. You all thought that you were living in a meritocracy. You're
I
living
don't
in
think so.
multiversal techno-feudalism.
Also, the Maltese Falcon is set in the 20s,
Yes.
so it's
Yes.
not in 41.
No.
At least that's what my mind palace says. But you know what else it says?
What?
It says they did turn Mike had to do some work there because Cardass Fadson's up in third and First Officer BBR is now on the leaderboard, a mere 40 points behind Ferengi. Time. I agree.
Exactly.
Thingsfromthevoid. Also, yeah, Maltese Fluval was way better. Which, if you're new, that was something that.
Yeah, it was just a little,
What's on
you know,
Noir Earth?
it's just a little Noir Earth that we visited and destroyed. You know, just visiting planets, destroying planets, you know.
Yeah, just having a good old fun time.
Hail Fluval.
Hail me.
Indeed.
Hail me indeed. Hail.
Hail,
Hail.
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 Hail, hail. It was the night of intern Christy screams. That is very true.
You know, we talked about how our love for destroying planets, but speaking of great galactic organizations, let's go to our next question. What is the name of the Federation's totalitarian mirror universe equivalent?
Ooh.
Are they the Conclave of Earth, the Galactic Empire, the Terran Empire, or the Universal Regime?
Ooh, I like that one.
Seen here is someone is a monkey staring deep into their mirror universe's eyes. Will they kiss? Hopefully. But this
They
is a
do
photo.
look-
It doesn't move.
It doesn't move. What would you pick?
What would I pick?
Ugh, the Terran Empire, boring. Which one would you pick?
I like the Conclave of Earth.
The Conclave of
But that would be the
Earth.
Earth government within the Universal regime.
Good one, BBR. Feed us your pain.
Feed us your pain.
Feed us the pain of your lack of knowledge.
But the correct answer
Feed
is
us.
the Terran Empire. The Galactic Empire is Palpatine's empire in Star Wars, and of course the Empire in Isaac Asimov's Federation series. The Terran Empire has got nothing on my dorsal fin. I
It's
couldn't agree
true.
more. Look at that fin.
It's true.
Ooh.
Look at that fin.
And
Look at-
unlike
Wow.
the Federation, the
Wow.
Terran
So
Empire
rigid.
is a xenophobic, violent regime, and officers in the Imperial Starfleet often move up in the ranks by killing their superiors.
Which is wonderful. It is something we have enacted here, of course, below a certain level.
yeah,
So no,
definitely.
I cannot kill Fluval.
Well, also no one can kill me.
No,
I'm immortal. I
that's not
transcend
possible.
death.
He can die.
I am beyond such mortal concerns.
You totally are. He can absolutely die.
I will never die.
You will never die, Fluval. You will definitely die. You will never die, Fluval.
But you know what will die?
What?
My patience. So let's go to the leaderboard. Where Kaplogtoven's in first, Cardass Fadson up in second, Stephen Premel, hey, you're in third. Faring Guy, you're in fourth, and a Gorn named Matty in fifth place. I am a living god.
True. It's true. It's very true.
Also, how is it a viable system? Well, you just gotta keep getting more people. It's
like a pyramid scheme.
as
It's
long
like a
as more people
Ponzi
come in
scheme.
downstream, it turns out okay.
Exactly. That's how capitalism works too.
Absolutely. That's where we got the inspiration. But you know, speaking of Kaplak,
What?
let's go to our next question. Which linguist is known as the real word creator of Klingon? Is that George Lakoff, Mark Okrand, Noam Chomsky,
Chomsky.
or Umberto Eco? Seen here is
Noam
Klingon, by the way.
Chomsky.
It's the word hello and then Klingon for hello. Nuchnech.
Nuch.
Nuchnech.
Nuchnech.
Norm.
It's
Norm
Norm.
Chomsky.
Norm.
Do you know the answer to this one, Intern Collective? Well, now you do.
Well,
It's
now
Mark
I do.
Okrand. The first film he worked on in the Star Trek universe was Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan. And I got a fact fractal for you. What? Here's my fact fractal. Okrand created the Vulcan. I'm going to start over because of that sound effect.
I'm sorry, Fluval.
Okrand created the Vulcan language because he had to dub actors over who had already spoken their lines in English. And due to this, he had to make sure the Vulcan language matched the mouth shapes of the English that the actors spoke, but realistically produced different sounds.
It's true. We actually had this person at the RFM studio.
That's right. Intern Forrest and intern Emily legitimately
Yes. Actually met this
interviewed
human.
the creator of Klingon one time. No, he made both languages. He made Vulcan and he made Klingon.
Yes.
Klingon-
Pretty much. Yeah. All language is just made up by some
And that dude is Mark Okrand.
And that's, yeah. We actually did send him back in time to invent all
Mm-hmm.
language. So it's like one of those recursive things, like a time loop. Like he was inspired by people before him, but then he actually set up that which inspired him. It's like that movie where they do that with the song. Look, I think this is the noise you're looking for.
Back
but
to
like
the
less
future.
racist. Yes.
Back to the future. But yeah, he has said that the language's depth varies quite a bit
No sophomore
from language
slump.
to
For good old
language.
folks.
No sophomore slump indeed. In fact, Klingon is much more of a language.
Bring it on, indeed.
Bring it on. I thought you meant yesterday, the film where the Beatles never existed.
Oh.
Until you clarified it, where the guy was like, pretending he had written all the Beatles songs.
I like the idea that the songs themselves are like such magic.
Right.
That everyone would realize that and like immediately put him on the radio.
Yeah,
and, like, give him a contract. Like that's all you need in order to become famous. You just need to write a good song.
He emerges in 2019, and the Beatles songs come out, and everyone is as gaga about them as they were when they came out in most dimensions.
Yes.
So let's go Gaga now over our leaderboard. Where Stephen Premel's up in second, Cardass Fadson falling down to third, Faring Guy in fourth, and Bootleg Bart rounding out our leaderboard in fifth place. But don't you worry, Wesley Crush is the highest climber, up 3 places.
Radio Gaga.
Radio
Gaga.
Gaga.
Radio Gaga. All we need is Radio Gaga. Okay, we can move on. I don't need to sing.
You know what I think is all we need?
I don't need. We recorded that on Mercury.
I think
with
all
Freddie.
we need is our next question. Lucasfilm and Starfleet are both based out of which former military base in the San Francisco Bay Area? Is that Hangar 1, Hunters Point Naval Shipyard, the Presidio, or the San Francisco Armory?
What's fun is I think I know the answer to this one, but I'm not entirely sure.
I know it. I even know the film studio is based out of other ones of these.
Ooh,
But the correct answer is the Presidio of San Francisco. Lucasfilm moved there in 2005 to unite their video game and film production arms.
Yes. That is appropriate, CBC 9000.
Yes,
that is
it
extremely
is.
appropriate. And everyone should be here for Fluval's Evil Laugh. That's why I'm here.
That's why I'm here too.
Yes, that's true.
Why don't we go to the leaderboard so I can laugh at your misfortune? Where Faring Guy is now in first. Cardass Fadson, you're up in second. Quiplogtov, and you're in third. Stephen Premel in fourth. Bootleg Bart in fifth. And yeah, Gene Roddenberry put lyrics to the Star Trek theme song.
For reasons.
Is
that any fact fractals, or can we just share
No, you
about
can
this?
just say that reason.
Ooh, fact fractal from intern Christy. Oh my god. Intern Christy gets a fact fractal.
Ah!
He wrote lyrics to the song so that they could screw the person who wrote the song out of the royalty.
And so he could get them instead.
And they recorded it exactly once with lyrics, never showed it to anyone, and still screwed that motherfucker out of the rights to his song. Also, Gene Roddenberry, creep. Just a creep, just an actual creep. How creepy was he? We're not sure, but he was definitely on that spectrum.
Remember when there was an episode of this very show?
Oh, yes, a very chill reason. Extremely chill of him.
Remember a previous episode of this show where we had a quote from him where he talked about exploding in waves of pleasure and cum?
Yes.
Anyway, here's the lyrics to the Star Trek theme song. Beyond the rim of starlight, my love is wandering in starflight. I know he'll find in star-clustered reach his love. Strange love a star woman teaches. I know his journey never ends, or ends never. His Star Trek will go on forever. But tell him, while he wanders his starry sea, remember me.
Amazing. Oh my god. I think that honestly was good enough that if we were just to perform it somewhere in Fluval, like everyone would recognize how amazing it was and immediately give us record steals and Beatles-like fame.
I think we could even do it a cappella and that would happen.
You are correct. Fluval's next album drops on your planet and explodes it. 'Cause it's really big and heavy. A couple of fake trumpets, really.
Oh,
Fluval,
the fake trumpets would really spice it up.
It does make the soap opera-iness. How, different alien chick. Every fucking planet. They all have two genders, and one is person that Kirk wants to fuck.
Speaking of Kirk, let's go to our next question.
We do we actually own the original.
Which city has a marker
dimension.
declaring itself the future birthplace of James T. Kirk? Is that Kirk, Colorado, Riverside, Iowa, San Francisco, California, or Vulcan, West Virginia? Which of these has declared itself the future birthplace of James Tiberius Kirk.
So you remember the planet that they went to, and all of these wild things start happening. Suddenly there's a knight in shining armor with a jousting to kill someone. There's a white rabbit bouncing around like from Alice in Wonderland, and they're like, what's happening?
Yes.
We have no idea. DeForest Kelly McCoy goes down there with a chick. Because, they're going on shore leave. And he's like, they think he's been killed. Then at the end, he walks up with 3 bitches dressed in nothing but puffs of neon fur on the parts that TV wouldn't let them show. And is like, hey, guys, this is actually a pleasure planet made by people way more advanced than us. So this has all just been everything we've thought of. And I was thinking about these bitches. This is just going to be an episode of me recapping episodes of the original series poorly.
Also,
so
apparently there was on one of the Star Treks there was talk about maybe it shouldn't all be PNV, and then it became that, and then Lower Decks finally made it not all PNV. Go watch Jesse Gender's video all about sex and Star Trek for more of this kind of information.
And a really in-depth, well-researched.
Very well-researched. They cite their sources.
Behind the scenes and can tell you the whole story about Gene Roddenberry and
she cites all her sources on it, which are books, interviews, all that kind of stuff. I smell sex and Star Trek. Who's that lounging on our leaderboard? It's not Cardass Fadson who's in first place, but Ferengi, you fell down into second. But don't you worry, Bootleg Bart. Not only are you on the leaderboard, you have a streak with 4 correct answers in a row. Also, you know what?
I'm just trying to think of more Star Trek lyrics to Sex and Candy.
Well, here's the future birthplace of James T. Kirk. He'll be born there March 22nd, 2228.
So get your apocalypse gear ready. I'm not sure. What are we doing to kill baby Hitlers?
Oh, I mean, we've done so many things.
We've done a lot of things, but so anyone who wants to kill him as a baby, much easier to kill a baby. Gonna be real.
Yeah, babies don't tend to, do the elbow drops when they're shirtless like Kirk does.
That's true. Or this move. Oh, wait. This is the Star Trek move. Just bring both hands together like this. Interlace them and...
If Earth still exists, someone will absolutely 100%.
Oh my goodness.
They will name the baby that for sure, because it'll be James Tiberius
100%. 100%.
I mean, also James T. Kirk will be born then, so of course there will be a baby named James T. Kirk. That's just fate.
Precisely.
You know what else is fate?
A lot of broken fingers in Starfleet. That's actually what McCoy mostly deals with. Just repairing broken fingers every fight.
Damn it, Jim, I'm a finger repairman, not a mortician.
Oh, can we also bring up the picture of the alien that is 100% just a small dog in a costume?
Oh, yeah,
we really need to show you all the small dog in the costume. Yeah. Okay, let's go to the Mind Palace. We need to go on a tour. To show this off
because whatever you're picturing...
it
looks more like a small dog than you're imagining.
Yes.
Like
they could have made it look less like a small dog very easily.
I don't think
they did not.
They couldn't have made it look more like a small dog.
We're going to just go through Intern Christie's memories of the original series. How does that sound? We got to see the small dog. There we go. Bam.
This is an alien. This is the face of a strange alien creature not of this earth. I like the antenna, the candy cane antennas too.
I didn't realize those were antennae. It's so excited. Yes, Yes, here for intern. Oh my gosh, I'm intern Christy. Hi. Recaps and reenactments. Yes. Okay, let's.
Well, also before we move on,
can we pull up the?
We gotta show them that alien from another angle.
Yes.
Like they really didn't disguise it at all. It's not that the other side was
and
somehow
someone's always holding it too.
Yeah.
They did not take time to train a dog. Very easy to train a dog to run places.
I also love how in this still you can just, it looks like Sulu is like,
I'm holding a dog
I know how
today.
silly this is.
And I have to deal with this asshole who keeps taking all of my shots. Real story, real thing that happened on the set. Per George Takei's retelling on Howard Stern.
Yes.
Oftentimes, they would be setting up a shot on a different character. They would give them lines. They would have whole lines, like whole little like back and forths to memorize.
Yeah.
They would be setting up for it. They might even start filming. William Shatner would then walk over to the director, have like a weird like thing with like the cameraman and like the people they'd be talking. He'd come back and they would just reset everything and give the lines to him.
Yes.
He's like, well, I'm the captain. The show should be about me.
I'm the captain.
Meanwhile, Leonard Nimoy's over here just like, I'm friends with everyone. Let's make a Hobbit
Do you want to see
video.
You want to see my Shatner impression?
Yes.
I am the captain. It should be about me. I am the captain.
Yep.
It should be about me.
Yep.
That's my Shatner. Thank you.
It's a great one. Also, I met someone when I was in intern college who worked at a restaurant near where William Shatner lived. And according to this person, he often came in wearing a green, one of the beauty face masks.
A face mask.
Like the kind that you put on for your skin, not like the
not a
external
Halloween
kind.
mask or whatever.
Yes. Yeah. He would just do that and wear like a bathrobe for no reason because he's a bad person. He's also a Republican.
Did you want me to bring up McCoy on that pleasure planet?
Yes, I do. Ah, there he is!
He looks so happy.
He's so happy. So
yeah, this is the pleasure planet you were talking about.
Yep. Someone would in a game. Oh,
that's a fun game.
I love that.
Yeah.
The shots ain't great no matter what. Their navels are very fuzzy.
Yeah, that's
as well.
the key thing that shouldn't be overlooked is they each have a pom-pom in their navel.
I did not realize that before. And I am the happiest person.
Look at that. They just they glued a pom-pom into their navel. These poor women. A lot of the Star Trek costumes not practical for the women. Are those supposed to be outfits or alien hair patterns?
I think outfits.
I'm
pretty sure outfits.
Yeah, I think outfits.
But wow,
who knows
right?
for sure?
Oh, can we see the Horta?
Oh.
We got to see the Horta.
Don't worry.
I relate very strongly to
There's
this
not
Horta.
a question about the Horta either, which there really should have been.
The Horta is my favorite creature from Star Trek. It is a silicon-based rock lava monster that moves through rock the way that we move through air. And no one could communicate it with it. They didn't know what was wrong with it until Spock mind melds with the rock monster, right? And the only thing he can get from this rock monster, the first thing he goes, which is weird, because Spock doesn't have any emotions, because he's a Vulcan. Go, pain, because the Horta was in pain.
You know what's weird about it?
And then McCoy heals the doctor, and he's like, "I'm starting to think I could cure a rainy day." That's the Horta.
It also looks to me like
and those
cheese.
are its eggs.
It looks like it's made of cheese and sausage a little bit too.
It looks a lot like Pizza the Hut.
Yeah.
Relatable, right?
It's very
so relatable. The Horta episode in a strong. What the fuck class was that, Abby Rogden? Who the hell was your teacher?
Maybe it was.
It could be
the Horta.
It could have been the Horta. It could have been the
Horta.
Horta.
Your teeter.
The Horta does die once those eggs revive. Basically, that's the life cycle of the Horta. Is they're all born at once. They live together. They lay eggs. They all die except for one who guards the eggs, and then that one dies.
Look at it again. A slightly different angle of it.
And it turns out that it was never a problem after all, because even though they thought that this monster was getting in the way of their mining operations, why, these little Hortas just go through rock faster than we can set up things for them to mine.
Oh.
Thankfully, they feed industrial capitalism.
Well, that's a relief. Otherwise, we'd have a real problem on our hands.
The dance called the Horta.
Because it sounds like the Hora?
Yeah. We dance in circles, and then we lift the person who's in the most pain on a chair up in the middle. That's what we do. We dance the Horta.
Do you think Sirach Lofton will be in this episode of Trivia, Blogtoven?
Who's Sirach Lofton?
I actually know the answer to that.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's the person who played Cisco's son.
Oh, I like him.
Jake Sisko. Yeah.
He was a cutie. He was a cutie.
Yeah, he was a great character.
I liked his, I liked that he had a Ferengi friend.
I liked that.
I related a lot to the
I liked their friendship
Ferengi.
a lot. But you know what else I like?
Like, he's like, God, stop being fucking racist.
I mean, he should. He should. He should stop. Cisco, stop being racist.
Which is also kind of weird that in the 90s, they're like, let's make the black captain speciest. And have a whole... I'm just like...
Yeah, it's a weird choice.
Okay,
You're right.
like, Star Trek's trying real hard. I mean, like, when you're trying to show off the fact that you're in a post-racial human society...
You gotta judge somebody.
Gotta judge somebody.
Apparently. But you know what? You
Can't
don't
just
have to...
spend the whole time making snide remarks about the only Vulcan on the fucking crew.
Oh, well, McCoy is just racist. That's just a thing.
Calls him a pointy-eared devil.
He talks about his green Vulcan blood a lot. No, McCoy's messed up. But you know what's also messed up?
What?
Our next question. Here we go. It's a double points one, so you know it's hard. In Star Trek Voyager, Tom Paris created which holo novel inspired by 1930s sci-fi serials? Was that Captain Video and his Video Rangers, Rocky Jones, Space Ranger, Space Patrol, or The Adventures of Captain Proton? Which of these were... Which of these were created by Tom Paris? 4 of you knew it. It's The Adventures of Captain Proton. The rest are all real serials from the 1930s.
Wait, cereals?
Like film serials.
Okay. Not cereals
No,
like
not
we
like
consume
Frosted
them.
Flakes. No.
I have not seen New Jack City.
I've heard of it, but I haven't seen it.
And I'm intern Christy. Thank you.
Also, let's see. In the holodeck, Tom Paris stepped into the boots of the titular Captain Proton, while Harry Kim plays his trusty sidekick, Buster Kincaid.
Yes. Exactly like the podcast.
Exactly like the podcast. But yeah, it is a good point, Jazz. Like how Riker is obsessed with 20th century jazz.
Yeah. I mean, you know, Kirk really likes Shakespeare.
Yeah.
A little bit ageless.
Why don't any of them like jizz?
True. They don't
Why
like
don't any of them love jizz whaling?
They do love that public domain content.
That's true.
Yeah, it's racism, but like 40 years earlier racism, like 500 years in the future. Fun.
Oh, McCoy, yeah.
Yeah, they do a lot of Mark Twain.
Mark Twain is on Star Trek.
Yeah, they do a lot of that in The Next Generation.
Well, because Data likes him, right? Or no, they just like meet him in the Old West.
They meet him in the Old West, and Data really likes being Sherlock Holmes.
Right. But you know what we should, I think, do next?
What?
We should go to our leaderboard and see what chaos that question caused. Cardass Vadson still in first. Kaplachtoven in second. Ferengi in third. Borg-ish. Well, their effort isn't futile because they're in fourth. And a Gorn named Maddie just knocked down someone out of fifth place using a big ol' rock.
Wow.
And Cardass Fadson, you have 3 in a row. Oh, yeah, Twain is friends with Guinan, of course, played by Whoopi Goldberg.
Yes. Yes.
who I believe may return in a thing very soon, in a Star Trek thing, that is. I'm not saying that Guinan is in a new Sister Act reboot, as wonderful as that would be. Oh, already has.
Ooh, resistance is futile if less than 1 ohm.
Wait,
That's
what
very
seemed
true.
bad wrong, Stephen Premmel? Was it Guinan coming back? Because Whoopi be saying stuff she shouldn't be saying.
You know.
Oh, Samuel Clemens is a bad person. I mean,
you mean Mark Twain?
Yeah, Mark Twain's real name was Samuel Clemens.
Yes,
Mark
he
Twain
was
his nom de plume.
Yes, that is true.
Yeah, no, I mean, look, this is like, we don't know maybe Guinan was a bad person then and has grown a lot by the time she knows Picard.
I don't think that Mark Twain grew a lot.
No, but I'm saying maybe she was bad, and then no longer would be friends with him in the far future of the Federation. I also don't know what he did, to be clear, so I don't know how bad he was, but you know what I do know?
What?
We have another question. Here comes question number 9. In the original series, Kirk and Spock team up with a being who looks like which U.S. president? Is that Abraham Lincoln, Dwight Eisenhower, George Washington, or William Henry Harrison in a reproduction of those 30 days where he was president?
Yeah. Did they go back in time to try and reinstate his presidency, but then accidentally be like, no, you have to cover for us. Just give a really, really long speech at the inauguration so that we can, like, solve some time travel shit. And then he died.
Did Worf give him the flu?
Did Worf
or the cold?
give him pneumonia?
Pneumonia. It's pneumonia, not pneumonia. But let's see which hail to which chief? All of you knew it. It's Abraham Lincoln. On the episode The Savage Curtain, energy beings make Kirk and Spock team up with replicas of Abraham Lincoln and Surak, the father of Vulcan civilization. As Wikipedia notes, the villains they have to fight are, quote, Earth warlord Colonel Philip Green, Klingon warlord Kales, a practitioner of unethical experiments on humanoids named Zora, and Genghis Khan.
Genghis Khan themselves.
But let's see.
Not Khan.
No, not Khan! Genghis Khan.
Genghis Khan. Like intern Mike is literally just sitting.
We don't know that. Because maybe someone answered fast enough to cause the leaderboard to get shuffled around.
Margarita Max. It's just Margarita.
Let's find out. Oh, despite everyone getting it right, Stephen Premmel has returned to the leaderboard.
He literally was able to do that while continuing to sip. It's gross. It's
also
sugary. It's sticky.
There's
no alcohol in it. It's just Margarita Max.
Speaking of gross, sugary things, I'm very disappointed to report that in research for this show, we were not able to find a Star Trek-themed Mountain Dew flavor. If any of you know of that, send it our way so we can include it on a future episode of Mountain Dew or Star Trek-themed trivia, because I'm outraged that there's not Cardassian Cheetos or...
To go where no mountain has duned before?
Yeah.
I'm trying to come up with names. What would the name be?
Infinite Dew in infinite combinations. Infinite Dewhura.
Live long and do.
Duta. Tea Earl Grey hot. Yeah,
hot.
Why isn't there Earl Grey flavored Mountain Dew?
Right.
If you work for Yum Brands, make it so.
It does seem illogical. Oh.
Yum Brands, you gotta go do it. You just gotta get
illogical.
it. Get on it. Get on it, Yum Brands. Much like we'll take a look at when the crew of the Enterprise met Abraham Lincoln.
Oh my. Yes, he is just floating in space.
He's just floating in space in his chair, as seen at the Lincoln Memorial. Oh, the blood wine. Right. Why isn't there, like,
Red
Romulan
Dew? Romulan Dew.
Wow. Look at Abraham Lincoln there with his tall old hat.
Old Abe.
I love it. I love it so much. That's a superstar cameo, but we're going to ask you about another type of superstar cameo in our next question. Which WWE superstar fought 7 of 9 in Star Trek Voyager? Was that Hulk Hogan, John Cena, The Rock, or Macho Reman Randy Savage?
Romulan ale.
No, they make Romulan ale, but there's no Mountain Dew that's Romulan ale. There is legitimately Romulan ale you can buy. You used to be able to buy it at the Star Trek Experience in the Las Vegas Hilton. But which WWE? What?
Made with real Romulans.
Made with real Romulans, indeed. Fermented Romulan. But of course, thanks to Nero, you can't really do that anymore because of the red matter. Do you remember red matter? That's what it should have been. It should have been Code Red Matter. It should have been Code Red Matter for
the new Star Trek.
For the 2009 Star Trek. The new Star Trek from over a decade ago.
Yeah, the new one, you know.
Bajoran Blast. There it is.
Bajoran
Blondovan.
Blast.
Star Trek Discovery.
Ferengi fuel.
Discovery.
Discovery.
Yeah, there we go. But The Rock is the correct answer. It's Dwayne The Rock Johnson. He appeared on an episode from season 6 of Star Trek Voyager as the Pandari champion. And don't you worry, we're going to take a look at him after we look first at our leaderboard. We're Stephen Premmel rocketing up to 3rd at Warp 5. Bootleg Bart just beaming right into 4th place.
Beaming right in.
Ferengi, you're now in Fereng 5th. And Cardass Fadson holding on strong to the 1st place position with a streak of 5. Correct answers in a row as Studio Cat readjusting.
Studio Cat.
Okay, Studio Cat is still here, so now we're going to go back to our questions and look at the People's Pandari champion from Star Trek Voyager.
Wow.
They did a lot to disguise him.
They did so as much as they did to that dog.
Yes. Also, he wins.
Oh.
He doesn't lose because
Was that in his contract or something?
It is now.
Oh my.
I don't know if it was then, but a famed problem with the Fast and the Furious movies is too many people have that they can't lose a fight in their contract, so it makes writing it very difficult.
That's true. They did disguise his nipples, which makes him very hard to identify.
Yes, with half suspenders.
Yes.
They're just suspenders that stop.
That's a harness.
I know, but I like
that
calling
is
them
a sex thing.
I know it's. You're right. You're right. As you
like
can see,
I have seen that at the Folsom Street Fair.
You're right. It's a sex thing, which makes sense because Star Trek is famously horny.
Very horny.
Crusher falls in love with a ghost.
Oh.
And stuff happens.
Oh, that's not in this episode. This is a separate.
That's a whole different
entirely.
series.
I was like,
Crusher's not on this episode.
I don't
Crusher's
remember
never on Voyager.
That.
Do you remember The Rock's cameo
on
Voyager?
No, I never watched Voyager. I was already an intern at that point.
Yeah, she also has sex with the ghost Crusher.
Yeah, she does.
She
fucks the ghost.
She fucks the ghost.
She fucks the ghost. But like, why not?
Why not? But you know, this is a cameo on. Well, actually, before we move on, yeah, it's actually true. She passed out multiple times due to her costume. Also, here's another fun fact. Barack Obama, a fact fractal. Barack Obama became president in part because of Jerry Ryan, who played 7 of 9's husband. He was going to run against him, but then due to a scandal that involved 7 of 9's husband taking her to a strip club, Jerry Ryan's husband had to drop out of the race, and Obama had a much easier opponent and won.
Wow.
So thanks 7 of 9 calling out her husband's bullshit.
Oh, she was like, I hate that you went to a strip club.
Yeah, she was like,
okay,
I didn't want to go to the strip club, and you sort of pressured me to go.
Yeah.
And then she called him out on it, and they got a divorce.
Wow.
And so good for
Hell
her.
Yeah. Good for her.
If not for her, you might have had a worse president. I'm not under his jurisdiction. I transcend all laws.
Wesley does almost date a furry orange alien.
Are you saying Wesley almost dates Gritty?
Yes.
Hell yeah, Gritty Crusher.
Yes.
I want them to get married so Gritty Crusher becomes a thing, and maybe Gritty can wear one of Wesley's little sweaters with stripes.
That'd be really cute.
That'd be very cute. Much like the subject of our next question. Which of these original series characters was not in the Futurama episode where no fan has gone before? Typo there, but which one wasn't in the one where no fan has gone before? Is that Dr. McCoy, Scotty, Sulu, or Uhura? Which of these original Star Trek characters is not in the Futurama episode featuring the original series cast? Do you know the answer to this one?
Oh, I do
Intern
know the
cartoon.
answer. Oh, I know the answer.
Oh, seen here, of course. Oh, well, 7 of you got it. It's Scotty.
It's Scotty!
He was replaced by Welshie because James Doohan, who played Scotty's agent, said no. Thus, the working title of the episode was We Got Everybody But Scotty. And I got a fact fractal for you on that, too. I saw one of you said McCoy, which is interesting because you're kind of right.
Yes.
McCoy, the character, does appear in the episode, but he's silent because DeForest Kelley had already died before that episode entered production.
Not a multi-slot.
No, because the character was in it. That was you.
That was you?
And Sulu.
Well, you were wrong.
Sulu was in it, voiced by George Takei.
Of course.
And Uhura was in it, voiced by Nichelle Nichols.
Of course.
Well, she. But you know what?
What?
Fans in that episode, Fry and Melvar love trading facts. And you just did that, so let's see which of you is the number one fan of this question. Well, I can't quite tell, but Cardass Fadson's still in first. Kaplach Tovin in second. Bootleg Bart in third. Borgish assimilating in fourth place. And Stephen Premel hanging out in fifth. Off the very edge of the leaderboard, hanging for dear life. But Bootleg Bart, you're making a comeback with 3 correct answers in a row.
Good job.
Good job. You know, I think we should just move on to our next question, which is question number 12. Who is the captain of the Enterprise before Kirk? Captain Freeman, Captain Greenwood, Captain Pike, or Captain Starwind?
Ew.
I know the answer to this one, and this character, 7 of you got it right. It was Captain
Good
Pike.
job.
He was also the captain in Star Trek's original pilot, and he was played by Bruce Greenwood in J.J. Abrams' Star Trek movies, which is why we had the answer of Captain Greenwood.
Is this a prequel? What's fun is that very first episode that they shot, it was the first episode that they shot. It featured Captain Pike and the person who later portrayed the main nurse.
Yes. Nurse Chapel.
Nurse Chapel.
Who was
Roddenberry's wife. Was number one. So she was number one.
Yes.
And then and Spock was there. It was also the most expensive episode they ever filmed of Star Trek, which is why they reused all of that footage.
Also, a blog Tovin says it would have been tricky to make it a multi-select to include April, because in many reference guides, Captain April is listed as the first captain of the Enterprise before even Pike. And Greenwood faked people out because of Bruce Greenwood. And Das asked, is Starwind some Star Wars bullshit? No, it's some anime bullshit. Starwind is the last name of the captain from the anime Outlaw Star, where their spaceship is powered by a naked girl in a tank. Because anime. She's psychic. It's basically probably what Joss Whedon...
That was Gene Roddenberry's first idea before dilithium crystals.
Just like Tank Girl. No. Not that kind of tank. Like a fish tank. Like a capsule. Like a Bacta tank in the middle of the bridge.
In the middle of the bridge?
Yeah, I'll look it up. We're going to
I thought it must be like in an engine room or something.
No. The character here was...
Was she decanted as well? I think she was born and then put in the tank, which is like way less divine.
The character was Melfina, but don't you worry. I can't find it. Well, here we go. This is a picture of...
Kind of a picture.
Captain... It's pretty pixelated, but it's a picture of Captain Starwind on the bridge with Melfina, the girl in the tank, behind him. Yeah,
Firefly,
absolutely
yes.
single walk run.
Yes,
Jean
just...
Starwind is the captain. So here's Jean Starwind, and you can see her behind him.
Yep.
Right there, she's using the arms for modesty, but generally those like rectangles extend out to hide her boobs.
These are my titty shields.
That's right. She's a bio-android.
Ooh, very cool.
It's an interesting
Very
show.
cool.
It was on the Toonami block
Ew.
in the early 2000s. If anyone's wondering how Intern Forrest may have discovered that show, much like Trigun,
Oh.
which is an anime about a pacifist named Vash the Stampede. Oh, they added a bathing suit for Toonami. I see. Thank you, 1BBBR. Tom, the robot,
Tom the
is
robot.
very much a prude. Captain Tom Moltar would have let it all hang out, but why don't we go to our leaderboard to see which of you got it right? Wesley Crushed is now in 4th, and a guy named Maddie, only 100 points behind, a Gorn named Maddie in 5th. Bootleg Bart in 3rd, Kaplach! Tobin in 2nd, Cardass Fadson holding on to 1st place so far. So let's see if this gets shaken up, or if Cardass Fadson remains in the alpha position on our leaderboard. Here's our next question. True or false? Kirk meets an alien society which venerates their sacred text, the U.S. Constitution, on the original series of Star Trek. Is that true or false? Be sure to lock in your answers quickly, because the quicker you answer, the higher you score, and the more points you get. 7 if you got it right. It's true. That's on the episode The Omega Glory. Kirk and Spock meet warring civilizations from a world where history paralleled Earth's until its society fell due to a biological war. The warring groups venerate their sacred document
that they cannot pronounce properly.
No, they can't pronounce it properly or truly read it. And at the end of the episode, Kirk lectures them about the true meaning of the Constitution because they deny its rights.
Because everyone knows that if you just translate a sacred text correctly, the entire religious and social order that has based their power structure upon it will recognize that and change.
It was also one of the episodes submitted for consideration as the second pilot for Star Trek, though of course it lost out.
No one will just deny that ever happened, rewrite their own sacred text and be like, no, but this is the more true one. Or try and pretend that the person who came, lectured them, and left on a spaceship was just lying.
Also, the civilizations that are at war are the Yang and the Comb. Yang and the Com. With Yang being a derivation of a Yankee as it had devolved over time, and Com being a derivation of communist. And so the Yankees, because communist just shortened to Com, and the Yangs were the ones who had the U.S. Constitution.
Okay. Cold War. Cool.
Cold War. Shockingly,
Cool beans,
it was
cool
a
beans.
Star Trek episode.
Cool beans.
All about the
cool,
Cold
cool.
War.
Very awesome. Very cool.
Yeah,
Very
no,
nice.
it's not great. It doesn't hold. Some of it doesn't hold up.
Some of the original series of Star Trek.
Some of the original series.
Hold up.
And also they think Kirk's a god because he's so passionate about the Constitution.
A lot of people believe that he's a god, including the group of humans that were entirely based on stereotypes of Native American populations.
Oh, that
who
episode
believed
also
he was
is
a god.
The Omega Glory is rife with stereotypes, for sure.
But then he tries to be a god and fails because he's not a god, and everyone's like, what the fuck? And it's very funny. He's yelling to the sky, screaming and crying while water is falling down upon him. He's shirtless going, like the name that they gave him, which I forgot. Like, I am so-and-so. I am so-and-so. And Spock's like, it's okay. It's okay.
Kirk thinks he's a god.
Yes. And as do the rest of the people.
I like
the humans that find him are like, oh, you are clearly a god. He has no memories. And he's like, yep, that sounds right.
I like that Kirk has the arc of going from thinking he's a god to eventually proving a false god is not a god by asking, what does God need with a spaceship?
What does he need with a spaceship?
What does he need with a spaceship? I don't know, but what does intern Mike need with a leaderboard. Where Cardass Fatson remains, nothing changed much. I'm not going to read all your names again. I mean, no, I will. I'll do you the favor. Cardass Fatson in first. Kaplach! Toven in second. Bootleg Bart in third. Wesley still Crush in fourth place. And a Gorn named Maddie in fifth. Did Quirk make a rock so heavy that even he couldn't lift it?
He was literally trying to move a giant stone slab to get back inside some sort of structure that he had emerged from, which was what they were looking at. They were like, oh, what's this strange structure? He got trapped in the structure. He emerged from the structure with no memory. So he was trying to get back in said structure.
And then...
Which is said to have been like, oh, some ancient humans and or aliens went to a bunch of planets and seeded humans on all of those planets, which is why there are so many humanoids, and also why they all had this like weird parallel development to that which happened on Earth Prime.
And then I found the tomb was empty.
Boo indeed.
I think that boo is to when I briefly considered not reading everyone's names. But I did it.
You did it.
And 3 of you now have reached answer streak of 3 in a row.
Good job. Good job.
This next question could cause quite a bit of chaos because it is, what is that? That's right, it's a multi-select, so be sure to confirm your answers after selecting them. Which of these are real pieces of official Star Trek merch? The Star Trek calculator, the Star Trek checkers set, the Star Trek marshmallow dispenser, or the Star Trek silly putty? Oh, you were booing intern Mike. Well, that's
fair.
Very fair.
That is
single
very
walk
fair.
Run.
Feel
which
free to
of
boo
these?
any of our interns because we all know the only person who actually deserves to profit
Yes.
off of anything is the person who originally had
Yes.
maybe a vague idea of what it possibly could be and the money to pay for an incorporation.
All of you knew that they were all correct.
Yep.
You're all very good at this. Exactly a guy named Maddie. Well, we're going to look at the leaderboard to see which of you knew it first.
Oh, look. I found an alien.
Oh, yeah, look at this
nope,
alien.
It's just Studio Cat.
Hi,
Hi, Studio Cat. Welcome back.
Welcome back, Studio Cat.
I know you wanted to see all this merch, huh?
So
Studio
here's
Cat
the Star
loves merch.
Trekulator, which is a Star Trek calculator with a 9-digit display, computer sound calculation, complete 6-function computation, and all more. And it's the only way you know it's Star Trek is because it has this sticker of Kirk, Uhura, and Spock, and says Star Trekulator on the bottom. Otherwise, it's just a calculator.
He does have a furry navel, and Studio Cat is far more dangerous than a Flurkin.
Oh, look, Nick Fury would have lost more than his eye if he messed with a Studio Cat. And now here is the Star Trek checkers set, which is just... It's a checkers set. It's a checkers set. With white and gold checkers.
Yeah, right? It's not just a counting machine. Is he part Kneasel? Is Kneasel from a certain franchise that shall not be named? Is that what a Kneasel is?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's a cat, like being in a Turfs franchise.
Yeah, no, he's not any parts Kneasel because he isn't a transphobe, so.
And here's the Star Trek marshmallow dispenser, which reads, of course, "Hey kids, get your one-of-a-kind futuristic marshmallow dispenser from Star Trek V, The Final Frontier, and craft marshmallows." And this, it complicates the process of eating marshmallows for reasons.
I like that it's the futuristic marshmallow dispenser,
Do you
as if in the future, a technology that we will need is marshmallow dispensing.
Do you like that it's the official marshmallow of the starship USS Enterprise?
Yes, I do
Also,
think that ships should have official marshmallows.
They do use one of these in Star Trek V.
That's hilarious.
When they're
to
out
eat a
camping.
marshmallow?
Yeah. They use it to dispense a marshmallow in Star Trek V, The Final Frontier.
Yep. Yes, they do. So it gets Yes.
It's gotta be, right?
That's why. That's why they needed that technology. The future is all ant-based.
What does God need with a marshmallow dispenser? And yes, even Premel, in the future, the only thing that's changed about marshmallows is how they're dispensed. But that is how they get ants. Yep. And also, the final piece of merch we're looking at is the Star Trek Silly Putty, which is just normal Silly Putty in a Star Trek cardboard. So you will not know it's Star Trek Silly Putty as soon as you open the box. But
it has a new transfer solution. What?
It transfers putty to any surface. The putty image to any surface. So you could use it to, like, put the Silly Putty on newspaper, put the transfer fluid, or I don't know about the steps, but you could use it to transfer.
What?
You know how you can, like, take the newspaper image using Silly Putty?
No.
Oh, if you put Silly Putty over an image, the image sticks to it.
Okay.
And I think it's then you could put I think then you could also use the transfer image to transfer it from the putty to something else. Yeah, fluid on putty, putty on newsprint, reversed print on putty.
So you can just look at it on your putty?
That's its main purpose, they say.
And then you re-puttify your putty and do it again?
Backwards. You would get an inverted version of it on.
And then what do you do?
Else.
You just smush it?
For vandalism.
Okay.
No, you could take it from you. So there, you have a newspaper, right?
Okay. So
you
I
put
take
the transfer.
newspaper,
You put the transfer.
I have my putty.
Yeah,
I go outside with my putty that has the transferred image.
Let me go through the steps. You put the fluid on the putty.
Okay.
You then put the putty on the newsprint.
Okay.
And then when you peel the putty off,
yes,
you'll have the reverse image of the newsprint on the putty.
Okay.
And then you can put the putty on things, and the image will come off of the putty onto whatever you put it on.
Okay. That's interesting.
Yeah.
That's no longer a use of Silly Putty that has ever been marketed. Because I know image transfer fluid. Because Mod Podge makes that shit. It's all over Pinterest. Bitches cannot get enough of transferring images.
Yeah, they really don't promote it quite as much.
Because of the vandalism, do you think? Because now I just want to go to schools and pass out Silly Putty and image transfer.
For reference, this is what Silly Putty packaging looks like now. And there's nary a mention. There's nary a mention of newspapers, which is probably because newspapers are dying.
Well, you could do it on any image, right? It doesn't have to just be newspapers. It could be anything that prints similarly to newspapers. You could put it on some homework. But
I love that this. Well, but is all the homework on paper anymore?
Does anyone have small humans?
Like it is
that
mostly
are receiving
newsprint
education?
Specific. Because it needs ink.
We need some confirmation if the small humans receiving education do homework on paper still, and therefore could do this.
But I think it is mostly ink. It's I think
just
newsprint
any
ink.
Just anything with ink.
I've only done it on newsprint, so I can't.
Because you can do it with photos.
With Silly Putty.
I don't know.
Then
you do it with the fluid. With the image transfer fluid, so I assume that if you use the image transfer fluid,
I also
and it works with photos, then it would also work with the Silly Putty.
I never did it with the. Once in a while they do it on paper, but
okay.
I never did it with the. You had a transfer solution. It just did it.
Paper is still everywhere.
What if we did it on the Constitution? Maybe that's what happened in the Omega Glory, and maybe. We could save Nicolas Cage so much trouble if he could just use some Silly Putty to get
That's what he did on the
secret.
back of the Constitution. He just put some Silly Putty on it. To get a quick etching.
Oh, snap indeed. And maybe that's why they had to change the packaging, yeah.
You realize I'm just sitting here being like, where is my Silly Putty?
I do know that intern crafts and arts. Have sex on the Constitution. No.
Yes.
No, you don't need to do that.
Why not?
Because I'm not a third-dimensional being. Ugh.
No, but why wouldn't a third-dimensional being
Yeah,
have
they
sex
do
on the
love sex and
Constitution?
eating food. Maybe they can do
Right?
both on the Constitution and use it as a napkin.
Oh, that's a good idea.
You know what? Speaking of third-dimensional beings, one
I'd
of them...
rather smoke a
Yeah.
really big cigar, roll a really big cigar with it, and
What do
puff
you-
it into rich people's faces.
What would be the dankest article to use as your rolling papers?
That's a really good question. Because I was just thinking,
The secret on the back?
no, I was thinking about Bender.
Oh,
I was thinking about
yes.
Futurama.
The Bill of Rights, says Stephen Premmel.
Bill of Rights. Very
I like
nice.
using the 21st Amendment repealing prohibition to smoke a...
a big old doobie.
Yeah, no, if we're getting outside of the Constitution, the Necronomicon would be pretty great.
Whoa. I'm smoking the mad dreams of a racist that are somehow like really interesting. Actually, let's take the non-racist.
You know what's
parts.
interesting? When you hear Necronomicon, you think H.P. Lovecraft. I think Sam Raimi
Oh,
because of the
yes!
Necronomicon X.
Yes, do that one.
Oh, the Shroud of Turin, says Jazz Patson Montgomery.
Ooh,
Ooh.
dang.
Mormon fact fractal. Utah was the
Ooh.
state with the deciding vote that repealed prohibition. Fascinating.
Wow. And even Utah was like, this is dumb.
This isn't working. So say we, the Beehive State. 'Cause
Where
they're
the
worker-
beehives sit?
We're not. Utah is. They're worker
Oh.
bees.
That's awful. Oh my god.
Well, they're industrious. I don't know what to tell you.
It's like,
what did you think they would be? What should they be? What's better than the Beehive State for Utah? The Salt Lake State?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
That's the only other thing I know about them. You
We're
can't have the
outside.
fighting Mormons. Like,
We're outside of time and space, so we're not in a state. We're in a state
yes.
of...
We're in a state of timelessness and
timelessness and
statelessness.
statelessness. We're outside of time and state, as CBC 9000 said. We're in the void state, which is the state outside of time and space.
And they just broke his damn heart. What did God do about that?
Much like Anakin ignored Padme, they ignored the prophet, and their heart was broken. The Sundance State would be good.
That would be good.
That would be good.
Celebrate it for something interesting it does.
But you know what I think we should do now?
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of interesting things, let's go to question number 15. Here we go. A holodeck simulation of which literary villain takes over the actual Enterprise on an episode of The Next Generation. We've given you some hints already throughout this episode. Is that Cardinal Richelieu, Dr. Frankenstein, Professor Moriarty, or the Sheriff of Nottingham?
Who's Cardinal Richelieu?
He's the cardinal who's the villain in Three Musketeers.
Oh. Is he?
He's a
the-
historical figure as well, but he's also a literary
What is
character.
his villainous quality? Because I know the Three Musketeers. Their quality is that they fight. They're musketeers. Whatever. They're brave.
Their quality is there's 4 of them.
Yes, and then they're brave. They're fighters. They're this. You know. I know Moriarty, clever, similar to Sherlock.
Yeah, the correct
Sheriff
answer is
of
Professor
Nottingham,
Moriarty. The hint is we talked
corrupt.
about Data loving to be Sherlock Holmes.
Dr. Frankenstein, mad scientist.
Wait, one answer is
God
kind of true
complex.
too. Which answer is also kind of true? This is something I was concerned about ahead of this question. I tried to use my mind palace to verify it. Oh, what is this image? Is just from Canva.
Space Canva. It's from
It's
Fluval's
from my mind
Palace,
Canva.
Downloaded Canva.
Yeah, my mind palace is it pretty interoperable.
It does look like a giant sperm.
It does look like a giant sperm.
It does look like male.
Richelieu represents the
Okay.
corruption of the church.
Thank you. Thank you.
Dr. Krankenstein.
Dr. Krankenstein.
That's from the This Ain't the Holodeck episode. Oh, it's a Q simulation then of the Robin Hood with the I am not a merry man. It's a great episode. But you're right, they do kind of take it over. Ha ha ha. Well, let's go to the leaderboard and forget about that ambiguous question. Where Cardass Fadson in first, still. Kaploktoven in second, Bootleg Bart in third, Wesley Crushed in fourth, a Gordon named Maddie still in fifth, and nice Stephen Premmel is back with an answer streak of 3 in a row. I agree. Boo, intern Mike. You didn't have to do anything. He just got to keep sipping away in his replicator-made cup of margarita mix.
Big ol' 7-Eleven, big gulp.
But speaking of the holodeck, we have another holodeck related question. Here we go. On Deep Space Nine, Captain Sisko and the crew of Deep Space Nine play which sport against a Vulcan team in the holosuite? Was that baseball, basketball, rugby, or water polo?
What, because Vulcans don't have any of their own sports? Because it's too illogical?
I mean, they probably have esports.
They probably have sports. Like, it's logical to exercise your physical body and develop a, rapport with the other beings around you.
I meant Vulcans love League of Legends. But the correct answer is baseball, which is why the episode was called Take Me Out to the Holosuite.
That's pretty cute.
The Deep Space Nine crew's team is the Niners. And the Vulcan team is the Logicians.
That's horrifying.
They're
Who
the
names
Vulcan Logicians.
What cruel human, Starfleet officer was like, hey, we'll call them the Logicians?
I like that the Niners is both a San Francisco reference and a Deep Space Nine reference, and I don't think it was meant as a San Francisco thing at all, despite that being the headquarters of Starfleet. The Vulcans probably, it is logical. That is a logical descriptor of them.
It is, but it's rude, right?
What else would it be?
Anything.
What would your name, what would your Vulcan sports team name be? Colorado Rockies?
I'm Christy. It would be,
Mine would be that they're the Vulcan and Vulcan arrogant assholes.
Right? I was like, what can I say about them that isn't something that Dr. McCoy said?
They're the
like,
Vulcan
the fighting,
condescenders.
pointy-eared devils.
Oh, I know what they are. They're the Vulcan. Actually, we have emotions. We have merely learned to master them through a rigorous method of training.
Yes. That is precisely what
So it
is.
actually is, what's logical is teaching people something that they may not know about the Vulcans every time they play. The Pawn Far Outs.
Yes.
The Vulcan wet blankets.
Green
The Vulcan football team.
Yes. That's the best one.
That's the best one. The Vulcan participants. Sucking down chili dogs outside Quark's bar. That's what Sonic the Hedgehog would be doing, because he famously loves a chili dog. But let's go to the leaderboard to see who has a home run in their answer on that question. A Gordon named Maddie and Stephen Premel both returned to the leaderboard. Not in the holosuite, but in real life. And Borgish is back with an answer streak of 3 in a row. Congratulations, Borgish. But Cardass, Fadson, and Kapluk, Tovin, their dominance in this game still continues so far. But speaking of the Three Musketeers, they're involved in our next question. On Star Trek Enterprise, Captain Archer's Beagle was named after which of the Three Musketeers?
Oh.
Was that Aramis, Athos, D'Artagnan, or Porthos? Seen here is a good boy running with a big old stick he got all by himself. Yes, he did.
Oh, what a good boy.
Have you seen Star Trek Enterprise intern syndication?
I have not.
So you don't know that it's been a long road getting from there to here?
No.
Do you know that it's been a long time, but my time is finally here?
Nope.
Do you see the streams coming out at night? Can you touch the sky?
Absolutely
Is
not.
nothing gonna hold you but down no more? Is there nothing gonna change your mind?
Nope.
Do you have faith in the heart?
No.
Is there no one gonna bend or break you?
Absolutely not.
Can you reach any star?
In no way, shape, or
Because
form.
you've got faith in the heart.
I do not.
That was the theme song for Star Trek Enterprise.
Beautiful.
Blogtoven regretting getting Jazz into Star Trek now.
Right? Jazz is just fucking...
Before we got it right, the correct answer is a Porthos. The correct answer is a Porthos. Yeah, Aramis is a dumb little himbo. You're right, Happy Rogue Ted. Because all for one, and one for all, and all for one. Now I'm more about all for one for all, and all for fun.
Oh.
So let's go to our leaderboard. By fun, I mean your suffering, which I enjoy.
Yes.
A Gordon named Maddie, you're in third, and Wesley crushing it in fifth place.
Cardass
Oh, yeah.
Fashion Fatson is just cleaning up.
Yeah, Cardass Fatson cleaning up so far, but there's still a couple of times where you may be able to, someone else may actually be able to win still. So why don't we first, though, look at Porthos from Star Trek Enterprise.
What a sweetheart.
F is for pain, U is for pain, N is also for pain. But
It's true.
Blogtoven is very close behind Jazz Fatson Montgomery, so don't regret it too hard. You could still win.
You could still win.
But why don't we go to question number 18 and see if this changes things. Here we go, and it's a multi-select. Leonard Nimoy directed which of these Star Trek movies? Star Trek 3, The Search for Spock, Star Trek 4, The Voyage Home, Star Trek 5, The Final Frontier, or Star Trek 6, The Undiscovered Country? Seen here is a theater, which is a room where once in the distant past, people went to see movies.
It's true. Shocking, I know.
Shocking, I know.
It's a disgusting practice. Being
They
in
sat
a
in
room
the dark with
that many
shared
other
air.
humans. Gross. Disgusting.
Not for me, thanks. I'll stay here outside time and space.
Nothing in here actually breathes the air except for me.
That's true. You're the only one who really relies on
Respires, yeah.
respiration.
Studio Cat, we don't know how Studio Cat works.
It's a
but
mystery.
It's definitely not respiring.
It's not. They don't.
Fluval, not at all.
I don't do. I just live on pure condescension and hatred and anger.
We are unsure what the cat lives on, but it does seem to respond very well to cuddles.
Studio Cat just throbs, says Happy Rogue 10.
Yes.
I aspirate my own tank juice, says Stephen Premel.
Delicious.
A lot of you got the right answers. It's Star Trek 3, The Search for Spock.
Yes.
And Star Trek 4, The Voyage Home.
Oh, and we have a special interview with one of the
We
actors
do.
from The Voyage Home. Everyone,
You'll never believe who's here.
you will never believe who we got to interview for this very episode. That's right.
It's the famed star of Star Trek 4, The Voyage Home.
It is. It's
Is that George or Gracie?
This is George.
Hi, George. Thank you for joining us today on Grand Trivia. We're sorry Gracie couldn't be here. Ooh. Hey. What do you think about transparent aluminum? Fascinating. Oh, Studio Cat, not a fan of George. No, does not like George at all.
Well, if
I think we
Studio
have to
Cat
say
doesn't like
goodbye to George.
Bye, George.
See ya, George.
See ya, George.
George, say
Sorry.
goodnight to Gracie. Good night, Gracie.
Good night.
Oh, apparently there's a written form of humpback as well.
Oh.
Whales are energy in the future and the present, says Happy Road 10. Computer. Of course, Scotty's famous line, computer. Hello, computer. Let's look at the leaderboard.
Computer.
And our leaderboard, Cardass Fatson continuing to be in first, but Kaplogtoven still very close behind. Yes, Studio Cat reacted much like they did to the Farscape theme song.
I'm sorry. We'll stop. I'm so sorry, Studio Cat.
But Bootleg Bart up in third, Wesley Crushed up in fourth, Stephen Bremmel in fifth, and Studio Cat has been not appeased.
Studio Cat is leaving.
Oh, okay.
Studio Cat's gone.
Studio
But
Cat is
Studio Cat-
gone. Had to see that coming. Yeah, I don't know why you were shocked. Intern precognizance.
I'm trying so hard.
So now we know Cardass Fatson is on a streak with 13 incorrect answers in a row, meaning they have only missed 5 of the questions, which is pretty impressive because some of these are real stumpers, I would say. So now let's go on to our penultimate question. Question number 19. True or false, Buzz Aldrin appeared as himself on an episode of Star Trek The Next Generation. Is that true or is that false?
He did appear of him as himself when he punched that guy in the face.
Yeah, he did punch a moon landing denier in the face in real life.
What he should have done was this move.
Da, 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 Buzz Aldrin is attacking you now. Da, 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 da. 2 of you got it right. It's false.
Yeah, it's false.
However,
He didn't.
Mae Jemison, the first black woman in space,
Oh,
did
cool.
appear on Next Generation as Lieutenant Palmer
Oh, hell yeah.
because he didn't do it. It's false because it didn't happen. I that feels straightforward.
Oh,
Excuse
did
me,
you,
you
Happy
did?
Rogue 10? And he didn't punch you, did he?
Did he Star Trek, like, elbow hit you?
See, exactly, Redactron. He never went to space.
Well, there's that too, yeah, I mean... Can't argue with that. If he never went to space, he can't be in Star Trek. Everyone on Star Trek has gone to space. I mean, William
It's in
Shatner
space.
did.
Leonard Nimoy's there now.
Scotty's there now, too.
Oh, cool.
Scotty's ashes are out in space.
Very cool. Nichelle Nichols is in New Mexico.
He was very old. That doesn't mean he can't punch you.
Oh, he can still punch.
Yeah, I mean, who knows how hard, but he can punch.
Oh, yeah.
But
Oh,
anyway,
yeah.
2 of you got it right. Let's see. This could be the one that changes our first place position. Is it? No.
No.
Cardass Fats and Kablogtoven are the 2 who got it right. Yeah, and don't worry. I'll make sure all your ashes are in space soon. He used his moon powers to do a punch. I think you have him confused with Al Gore, Emperor of the
Yes.
Moon, who has ridden the mighty moonworm.
It's true.
But we have one more question, and less than 100 points separating.
Oh, my
Like less than
God.
20 points separating Cardass, Fadson, and Kaplogtoven. Why don't we get to our final question? The tension is incredible here, and it's a multi-select, and it's a double points question.
Oh, my God.
Which of these Star Trek crews crossed over with the Uncanny X-Men, the Deep Space Nine crew, the Next Generation crew, the original series crew, or the Voyager crew? Which of these crews crossed over with Marvel's Marvelous Mutants?
They're so marvelous.
Which of
Who's
these?
your favorite? Who's your favorite X person?
Nightcrawler.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. He goes, Bamf!
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 The correct answers are the Next Generation crew and the original series crew.
Jess Fadson Montgomery may have gone
mother.
it
But
wrong!
Blogtoven said no idea as well. So
My God.
we'll have to
We
see.
are
But first,
on the edges of our seats!
you're going to have to stay on the edges of your seats a little longer because first we're going to look at these crossovers. The TOS crew crossed over with the X-Men in a 1996 one-shot comic. They met after the X-Men chased the villain Proteus through a dimensional rift. Goldballs is an icon, Alice, Forever Cemetery. And as you can see here in the comic, Spock and Wolverine fought. Don't worry, Psych. I won't hurt him much. Clack! More accurately, Wolverine. Huh? You won't hurt me at all. I trust. I made my point.
Oh my God!
My favorite is the pinch sound
Spark
effect.
Kicked his ass.
Pinch.
That should be a shirt.
The pinch sound effect is just so good.
That should be a shirt, actually.
You're right. You will not hurt me at all. I said won't. You will not.
Yeah,
hurt
Spock
me
does
at all.
not use contradictions.
Yeah, making your speech
Contractions.
quick and more efficient sure is illogical, Spock. It's better to waste time by not using the tools available to you in the English language.
Yep.
And here's the second crossover, Second Contact, which is not called Second Contact because it's the second time the X-Men and the Federation met. It's called Second Contact because this comic is a direct sequel to Star Trek First Contact, the feature film.
Is that a Magnolia?
I don't know.
cover?
It's signed.
By somebody.
No, it's not signed. It is not signed by Mike Mignola.
Oh, okay.
But in Second Contact, as the Enterprise attempts to return to their time from the 21st century, where they were in First Contact,
Me too.
they instead find themselves in the Marvel Universe. The
Oh,
Enterprise
no.
crew and the X-Men are forced to team up in fixed time. They do, and the Enterprise returns to their own time. However, all of a sudden, the X-Men are consumed by a white light. And by the way, in this comic, the X-Men, Wolverine and Storm, remember the Federation because they met in the first comic. So there's heavy continuity between the first comic, this comic, and the novel Planet X, where the plot line started in that comic is resolved, where two teams of heroes meet in one astounding adventure.
Wow. Go
And in
from a
this
comic
novel,
book to a prose novel.
after that flash of white, the X-Men find themselves in the future world of Star Trek. We get loads of fan service, including Worf and Wolverine sparring, and Professor X, and a simulation of Professor X and the real Picard bonding over their love of T.S. Eliot. No, it's just a fake Professor X and a real Picard, because Crusher needs help in genealogy research and summons a simulation of Picard because Picard is one of the foremost experts on genetics.
And he's not related to Professor X?
But they do have a startling resemblance.
The Groot Dakota? Bone Claw.
Bone Claw is ready.
Warfarine. Grootopia.
And it turns out...
Oh, okay.
It turns out they were brought...
Studio
That was
Cut.
weird. It turns out they were brought to the future by Q because there's a planet full of mutants that have appeared in Star Trek's world.
Incredible.
Intern
These
Forrest.
nerds will love this bullshit.
Intern Forrest sure loved that bullshit when he read this as a middle schooler. He freaking loved it. He thought it was the coolest thing. Wolverine and Worf are fighting. Hell yeah. Oh, and Data is in one of these said to be as strong as a mutant.
Well, yeah.
Data is what they use as their reference point for how strong the mutants are. It's like, well, they're even as strong as Commander Data.
Yeah, he's an android.
I know, but I just think it's neat. It
is neat. It's
you
really
wouldn't have
neat.
necessarily. I mean, that's the thing, right?
Yes.
He hadn't played. That hadn't happened
Oh,
yet. When Planet X,
why.
when Planet X came out, it was like
I was like, because that's a no-brainer.
right.
No?
But the book came out in '98, and he didn't play.
And it'd be great to just be like, oh yeah, this is Picard's great-great-great-great-great-great-grandfather. You didn't know he was a mutant?
Right, but no, they didn't do that. They just had a startling resemblance because fans had fan casted Patrick Stewart as Picard, as Professor X, but he hadn't played Xavier yet.
Wow.
So that was their like subtle little nod to fans wanting it to happen, but it had not yet
Wow.
occurred.
Incredible.
I also love the old Marvel logo with the
It is.
Comic Sans comics.
It is fantastic.
But now I think we should beam our way to the podium and find out who won our game. In third place with 13 out of 20 correct, it's Stephen Premel. In second place with 17 out of 20 correct, it's Kaplogtoven. And in first place with 18 out of 20 correct, it is Cardass Fadson.
Yeah!
In fourth, it's Wesley Crushed, and Bootleg Bart is in fifth, and one BBBR got a moose.
Got a moose!
And well, Cardass Fadson Montgomery, we have your address, so you'll be getting a prize from us.
Woo! And you know who else will be getting a prize from us?
I want to read this.
What did you want to do?
Apparently, when first handed an X-Men comic, Patrick Stewart said, "Why am I on that cover?"
That's hilarious.
Take it away, intern. Commercialism.
Thank you, I'm Christy. Who else is going to get a prize?
Who else gets a
It's our brand new patron, a guy named Maddie.
Oh, thank you for becoming our patron.
Thank you so much for becoming our patron, a guy named Maddie.
Thank
You will
you.
now be receiving things in the mail twice a month until we destroy your planet.
And starting with next week's
Woo!
episode, you'll be in our credits. So send us a message about how you'd like us to credit you. But now
with everyone's prize.
yeah, now there's the prize that every single person watching gets. What is it? It's goodbye to the pleasure planet where McCoy met those furry ladies with their pom-pom navels.
we destroyed all of that super advanced technology.
If you look at the rubble quickly, you'll see pom-poms floating through the stars.
Why, good night, Blocktober.
Good night, Blocktober.
We appreciate your lack of sleep. It's tasty.
No, yeah, no. I understood the intonation of your text. But thank you for joining us, a guy named Maddie, and thank you for joining us, everyone. As a reminder, at the end of March, Gotham Earth will be coming to your world. We've got some fun guests booked, so be sure to check that out.
There might be some slutty villains.
There might be some slutty villains, if you know what we mean. Ha ha ha. You know what I mean? I know what I mean. Do
I know
you?
What you mean. I know what you mean, Fluval.
I also know that
Fluval means.
We'll see you very next week. 1 week from now.
We're gonna see.
And you know why? Do you know why we'll see them?
Why?
Because we have your coordinates and your start date. And also intern Maddie, or a guy named Maddie who just supported us today.
Here he comes. Swimming closer than farther away.